Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. NPR reports that the war in Iran has reached its one-month mark, marked by an Iranian strike on Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base. This attack involving ballistic missiles and drones wounded at least 12 U.S. service members and reportedly damaged several aircraft. The Pentagon has reported a total of 13 U.S. troops killed and over 300 injured across the region since the war began. Meanwhile, regional tensions escalated further as the Israeli military intercepted a missile launched from Yemen by Houthi rebels, their first direct involvement in the conflict. Israel also reported strikes in Tel Aviv, causing 1 death and 2 injuries, while U.S. and Israeli forces continued targeting Iranian industrial facilities and a heavy water reactor. On another front, Israeli troops are advancing into southern Lebanon to confront Hezbollah, leading to significant displacement and casualties among the Lebanese population. Iran claims 6 Iranian diplomats have been killed in Lebanon. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, speaking after a G7 meeting in France, stated that the war would not be prolonged and that objectives, including destroying Iran's missile production, were ahead of schedule. However, a U.S. official anonymously confirmed that only about 1/3 of Iran's missile capabilities have been eliminated. The G7 urged an immediate cessation of attacks on civilians and the restoration of safe navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has largely blocked. Chinese.com reported on March 28, 2026, that a spokesperson for Iran's armed forces, Qassam al-Anbiya Central Command, announced missile and drone strikes against 2 alleged hidden bases of U.S. forces in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The spokesperson stated that these strikes, conducted in the past few hours, resulted in severe casualties among U.S. personnel. According to the Iranian military, these 2 hidden bases in Dubai housed over 400 and over 100 U.S. soldiers respectively. The spokesperson also claimed that some U.S. soldiers had previously relocated from their regular bases to external hiding places in response to ongoing Iranian strikes on U.S. military installations across the Middle East. As of the report, the United States government has not issued any response to these claims. Islamabad, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif recently briefed Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian on Islamabad's diplomatic initiatives aimed at fostering an environment conducive to peace talks. The discussion, held during an over-hour-long telephone conversation on Saturday, focused on addressing escalating regional hostilities, according to a statement from the Prime Minister's office, as reported by Shinhunet. The 2 leaders engaged in extensive talks regarding the evolving situation in the Middle East and the ongoing concerted efforts to restore peace and stability in the region. This outreach underscores Pakistan's commitment to diplomatic solutions in times of heightened tensions. According to CGTN, the ongoing Middle East tensions are rapidly evolving from a regional crisis into a broader economic strain, significantly impacting ASEAN nations in Europe. The crisis is leading to increased energy bills and widespread supply disruptions. A Maybank report highlights the spillover into Asia, warning of a potential stagflationary shock for ASEAN economies, which could stifle growth while fueling inflation. ASEAN countries, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand, exhibit high dependency on Middle Eastern crude oil, diesel, and natural gas, as well as crucial agricultural inputs like nitrogen fertilizer and urea. Consequently, Maybank has downgraded its 2026 growth forecast for 6 major ASEAN economies to 4.5% from 4.8%, simultaneously raising inflation projections to 2.7%. In Europe, the surge in energy prices presents a new challenge, particularly for countries like Britain, where economic activity has slowed and new private sector orders have declined for the first time in 4 months. Energy-intensive industries in Europe are facing mounting costs. prompting considerations of capacity cuts or production relocation. Major companies such as Lindt and Volkswagen have already revised their outlooks due to increasing geopolitical risks and uncertainty stemming from the prolonged conflict. The article concludes that the full economic impact is still unfolding. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.